People, welcome to the Curious Fijian. I'm the host, Fijian.
I'm the co-host, Rain.
And it's been a long time, man. We got Dan McGowan with us.
Wait, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I think I was one of the first. I was the first Muay Thai guy.
You was the first Muay Thai guy.
No, yeah,
You're one of the
100%.
first people on here.
I actually was. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
you were
was
like
quite-
8th or 9th.
Shit. Yeah. I was,
Yeah, you were like the 8th person on here. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't last year, like February, January. It was the year before.
Now these
So
boys making
ages.
waves in the Muay Thai
Trying
scene, boys.
to.
Come on.
Trying to.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Muay Thai.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Muay Thai.
Yeah,
I didn't think I'd have seen any Muay Thai. Now
It is mad because like when I first come on, like you like kind of dabbled in it and watched a bits here and there, but you didn't know much. And then,
I think I only watched
shows.
it to like prep for the interview.
Yeah.
So I watched a bit of you and I was like, fucking hell, it's a bit brutal, man. Like, knew what it was, but nothing.
Yeah.
Not going to events or nothing.
I remember
like
actually being in an event. Was it York Hall?
Yeah.
And I didn't know you were actually going to be there. And then got a camera in my face. I was like, rah.
That was a mad event.
That was
CFS,
the
I
first.
think.
Yeah, that event.
Yeah, that was a good
crazy,
event.
man.
I like CFS, man.
Yeah, that was your Sandro fight.
Yeah, Sandro Martin. Yeah, that's why I need to fight like that.
Yeah.
No one beats me if I fight like that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
We'll get on to that fight. Anyway, I did want to talk about, obviously, you opened the gym, McGowan Muay Thai.
Yeah.
What's that process been like for you? How are you finding it all?
It's sick. Like just going off, like doing my job as it's like this is my job now. So like sometimes it's hard, but then I look back, I'm like, fuck, like this is actually my job. This is easy. Like I could do this all day. If I wasn't getting paid for it, I'd be doing it anyway. I'd be in the gym holding pads for someone. So or training myself. So yeah, like I'm blessed. Like I do feel proper blessed. And like, if I look back, I've opened it about a year and a bit now, and it just took off massively. I'd like to be honest, I always just support 50 members monthly. I'll be happy with that. I don't know why I thought I'd be happy with that, to be honest, but that was the original goal.
50 is in
50 paying
people
monthly.
just coming in.
Or on a monthly plan,
monthly
like
plan.
pay monthly membership. But now I've got like nearly 100 already.
Yeah.
So like, and that's within the first year. So, and I'm not even I ain't got my own full-time premises or anything yet. So like, if I go full-time with it, it'd be crazy. Like I think I can take it to different levels. So, but it's not just that. It's obviously nice to do it as a job and stuff, but the lads that I've got in there, like, they're like, I actually love being around them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a good environment. Everyone's
You created a community.
Yeah, like that's actually the one thing I'm probably proud of, to be honest, because like now I probably speak to them more than some of the people I grew up with. Do you know what I mean? Like I see them every day, and it's just banter. It's always banter, like always having a good laugh. Everyone. The good thing about Muay Thai is the mindset. Everyone's on the same kind of level. Everyone's trying to push on to do better. They've all got a strong mind. Like when you're around that, you feel kind of good. Like it's good for everyone, and you can see everyone kind of grow.
Everyone's eating off everyone's energy.
That's it, yeah. And that's what's happened in the last year. We've had lads that barely had any fights. Now you've got like Liam Cunningham, for instance. Like now he's like a name in Muay Thai because he's had a few fights. He had some sick performances. But if you look back a year ago, he hadn't even had a fight for me. He'd had like a couple of amateur fights. But like you look at the difference in the fights now, it's like, right, like that's how good you can get if you're around the right people, and you're all but it's just, it goes for the whole gym, not just him. Like they've got Corey, you've got like some of my young lads like Igor and stuff. Like these guys were in the kids class like last year. Now they're in the adults, like giving the adults problems.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm trying to build. So yeah.
You just had one of the guys who fought Joe Turner as well.
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah,
Corey. Yeah. So Corey hasn't been doing it long. I used to work with Corey before I started all of this, like roofing, and I used to train with him, but then he's moved full time to me now as well, and he's 59 kilo. That's what that fight was, but he's huge. He's like, he's nearly 6 foot.
Long as well.
That's how he beat Joe. Like he just, like if you're that tall, you could knee people. Like he just grabbed hold of Joe, kneed him, and he made it like a nightmare for Joe.
Yeah.
Because Joe's a real technical fighter, likes to left kick a lot, likes to play the game. But if you take that out of it, like that's where Corey can like kind of dominate. And that's what happened. Yeah, he made it a dog fight.
Yeah.
It was sick though. Good fight.
Yeah.
Joe actually showed a lot of heart in the fight, to be fair, because he took some big knees and kept trying. But yeah,
main event as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the main event on the Sunday show on Hitman Fight League and CFS. So yeah,
because you had Liam on there as well. I don't know what day it was on.
Liam was on the Saturday, and then I had 3 lads on the Sunday.
Oh, so you had a lot of lads on big shows as well, man.
Yeah, and I think if I remember rightly, is it like the last 8? I think 7 out of 8 wins in the last 8 fights. So
7 out of 8
yeah,
wins.
we've got a good little ratio going, man.
Flying, man. McGowan's coming.
Yeah,
Pete McGowan's here.
Yeah.
Would you have thought 2 years ago when we done the pod, like you would have had your own gym,
Nah.
you'd have been doing all that sort of stuff?
Nah, like to be honest, I was at a weird place at that point because I didn't think it was doable. Like for some reason I had in my head you can't make it work. You can't make it financially work. I don't know, but then you kind of start it and you're like, I don't know why I ever thought this would never work. Like I had
you
the job.
start breaking down them barriers. Isn't
That's
it.
it.
You're
It's-
actually like, oh no, I can. Do
I don't.
this.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought like that though, because I've always been really strong-minded, like positive, like this is gonna work. Like anything I do, put me next to Usain Bolt, I'll beat him.
I think you got to be black to win that race, bro.
Okay, maybe not that.
Some melanin in that skin.
But like I've always had that mindset where like I feel really like you may as well think positive. You're gonna think anything in it. So maybe not the Usain Bolt one. That was a joke for the camera. But yeah. So for some reason I didn't think it was doable. And then I went to Singapore and I got a job there and all of that stuff. And then I thought the reason why I didn't want to leave Singapore at the time because I was like, I'm getting paid good money and I don't think I'll ever see that kind of money again. But like a year down the line and I'm already smashing them barriers. So like. It's just keep focused. I think more consistency as well. Consistency, doing it like and just sticking to it, and it's showing now. The results are showing, so it's good.
Is it been hard to balance with getting back into your fight career? Because I know you were getting back in, and then obviously after that interview, you had the was it the Mario Alvarez fight? I think that was your first fight back.
I was thinking this the other day. I can't remember if I was speaking to Lewis. I was saying, can't remember if I had the Mario fight yet or not.
Nah, you had a fight coming up in Spain, I think, and that one
and then that fell through, and then
you had the
I ended
Mario
up
Alvarez
having to
fight.
fight Mario instead. Yeah, fucking that was a nightmare. Wasn't it?
But yeah, we'll touch on that. Yeah, how has it been to sort of balance the training with that the fighting?
So yeah, it's been hard. Like I thought I had it down to a T, but when you're trying to up the level, so I thought Mario, like you're dealing with someone that's basically doing it full time, like training. He's putting everything into it to try and make a name. Then I had the Sandro fight. And then I had the Darren Rowland fight. I'd say the difference between Mario, Darren Rowland, and Sandro. Sandro, he's a good level fight, but not world renowned like them two. And what I noticed in the fight is against the two that I lost to was I'm not full time at the moment as an athlete. I was coaching too much. You know, like I was probably training 4 or 5 times a week, where I should be training 6 times a week, twice a day, like. To compete at that level, that's what you need to do. My skill sets, I think I'm better than them all. But like when you've got that, when you're going up against that, you need to be full time on it. Otherwise, you're going to lose. And that's what happened to me. I think I thought Mario fight was more. I'd been out for 3 years because of my hand, but then the Sandro fight, I fought really well. But also styles, different height. Like them, Darren and Mario are massive as well for the weight. They were huge for that weight as well. But I don't know, styles make fights as well, but I noticed after Darren Rowland fight, I was like, all right, it wasn't the Mario fight. I don't think was like, I've been out for 3 years. I think it was, I'm not taking it as serious as what they are. And that was the difference in the fight. And then even, there's loads of factors to some of them fights, but I'd say the main thing, like if I'm taking account for myself, like not going to make any excuses, I'd say I need to, if I want to take it to the level I think I can, I need to make a change. I need to train more. I need to do more. Like I train really. It's weird because I'm not lazy. I don't drink. I live the lifestyle. I'm not being a dickhead basically, but I'm not training enough. Like
they're getting 2 extra days. That's
what I mean. Like I'm training really hard when I am training with like Lewis kills me. Like it's horrendous to be honest. But like
he said you'd say that. He said he was like, "Oh, McGowan, I'm brutal."
It's fucking horrible. Like Mondays and Wednesdays. Like Mondays to start the week is always the hardest session. And genuinely, I get anxiety driving up the M1. I'm like, oh, mate. But no, it's good. But so we train really hard, but not. I just don't think I was doing enough of it. And also, I don't think I really had a route of where I wanted to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like politics. I don't really like politics and stuff like that in Muay Thai. Like, I won't probably ever fight on one championship, but like everyone else has got that goal. One championship's the goal, yeah. I didn't really have that goal, and I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? I felt a bit lost. Like I'm fighting these lads for what? I don't really know. I've already achieved all the things I was fighting them lads for. I'd already achieved. So I don't know. I didn't really have a route, but I feel like now there's a few more little like promotions opening up, and like where you can make a little bit more of a career out of it. Not to be honest, my whole mindset's changed on it now. Like it was always I need to earn more money out of it. I don't really care anymore because I'm earning my money through Muay Thai anyway. I just want to fight, like, and I just want to keep competing. I've got this itch at the moment where I'm like, nah, I need to get back, like, because I'm sparring these lads and I'm sparring loads of good level lads, and I'm still like my skill level's so high. I'm like, I can't stop now. Like I need to. I just need to unlock something in my head again to get back onto that level. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think the injury obviously held me back a lot, and then coming back and trying to fight at like high level, like Mario is like 10 fight win streak.
First fight as well.
First fight, but I don't know what. To be fair, this is where like I'm so glad I'm with Lewis now, because Lewis was with me at that point, but I was getting my own fights, and then he would just help me. Now he gets all my fights for me now. So up until Darren Rowland, it was me that was doing it all.
Yeah.
I think the only fight that he got me was Sandro Martin, and that was a great matchup at the time. That was what I needed. But if I could have done it, if I kind of look back, no regrets in it, whatever. I tried and didn't come off. But I think if I were looking back, Sandro would have been a great first fight back, because I don't think he'd ever beat me. But it'd always cause it'd be a hard fight. Then maybe build into another, maybe Darren Rowland after that, or maybe even another Sandro, and then go into like Mario, Darren. And I think I beat all of them. But like, it's just timing. I didn't time it right. But
you feel like the pressure with the gym as well, though, at the same time, you're trying to do other things.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just straight focus one thing, where them guys might just be dialed in. That's it.
That's it. Like, and also from like a lot of these lads, they're trying to make a name still. They're world level, but they still haven't made a real good name for themselves yet. So like, without sounding like cocky, but them beating me is a massive thing for them. Like, and I could feel that in that Darren Rowland, I hit him with some mad elbows, and like, just laughed at me, and I was like, fuck, like, these boys are hungry.
So so they're fighting for a little bit more. There's a little bit more on the line for them.
Like, if I won that fight against Darren, it's a good win. It's a great win. But for him to win it was a massive win. Do you know what I mean? It's that, like, it wouldn't have really changed much for me if I won that fight. I would have got a belt, but that's it. Whereas for him now, like, in the UK, everyone knows that name now, Darren Rowland. And like, same as Mario. Like, Mario had a few good wins before that, but
they're fighting you.
He fought me, and then like now everyone knows who he is now, and then like he's went on and done some really good things since. So like, yeah, I think, and that's another thing, I've kind of unlocked this. I've got to get my mentality right. Like, if I'm going to do it, I need to be hungry like I was before, and I feel like I've got that itch in me again. Do you know what I mean?
Sort of feels like, from listening to you, you're in that sort of like the Conor McGregor phase. Like, he peaked, won everything, and then was sort of like, now he's trying to, because he's still young, he's still got it, and he knows he's got it. And obviously you were young when you peaked. Like, when you're putting these photos up of winning at the stadiums and stuff like that, well, you were like 20, 18.
I started off in the stadiums when I was 15 to like, I'd say 15 to 22 was like where I won everything.
Peak years.
Like,
And that's what I mean. And then obviously, because the hand injury and stuff, you're still young. And you're trying to get back up to that level, but you've
it's a weird one as well. I was saying this to someone the other day, because I've had loads of wobbles, like, where I'm like, oh, fuck this, I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, I'm just going to focus on coaching. Like, I don't know about the fight, and I don't know if I'm hungry for it. After that Darren Rowland fight, it was a bit of a like deflate. I was deflated a bit. Then I was like, I haven't even fought in my peak years yet. Like, as a male, I think you probably hit your prime, I'm guessing like 27, 28, 29, like, where you get like, now I'm hitting as hard as ever. Like, I've never hit this hard. I feel strong, whereas before I was always really technical but not strong. Now I feel like I've got both, and I'm like, imagine if I retired now and I got to 40 and I'd be like, I didn't even try in my peak years. Like, there could be like mad potential for me to like win some major things now with all them advantages, you know, with the strength side of things and stuff. So
is it something you really want to do, or is it sort of you feel like you have to do it because you've got the name and because you're so good? Is it like what?
That's the questions I always ask myself. Like, that is the hard thing. Like, am I only doing it because I know that's all I know? Like, that's all I've done since I was like 10. Like, 18 years now fighting. So I think that's the battle. I was never not depressed or anything like that, but like confused after that Darren Rowland fight. I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing this because I want to do it? Like, I literally asked me like every day. It used to fucking eat me up like every day. I'm like, what am I doing, man? I don't even know if I want to do this. But then I'm like, nah, I do. Then I'm like, nah, do I care? Nah. Then I'm like, nah,
ego.
I don't, you know what, still trying to ask myself the same thing, but I feel like I want it because I'm training well hard. I'm like, I've got a route. I know what I'm going to do next year. I'm going to go to Thailand. I'm going to fight again. I'm going to go back down that way because I think that's when I was doing really well. Bring it back to that, do what I was good at, and I think I'll be. I think I want it. Do you know? Like, and I believe that the way I'm feeling now, I'm like, if I feel like this, I can beat anyone. So because it sort of sounds like you're trying to chase yourself of what you were. You're trying to chase that Daniel McGowan, which you might be able to, like, in 5 years' time, we might be like I said, you might be top of the world again, battering everyone.
But then it could just be you're chasing something like that. Might have just been your prime. That might have been your chapter in that journey. And obviously, because you feel
might
fit,
need just easing back into it. Though.
Yeah,
You've had 3 years, and you've come back and fought three top guys.
Top guys. Top guys. So there is a lot of questions that are not really answered. Even now I'm sitting here like I think I've got it, and then I'm like, and then he says that, and I'm like, oh, maybe we just need to test the waters again a little bit.
You've been out 3 years. You've had a hand injury. Like that's these guys. The difference is, I think, it's consistency. Like you said, it's consistency, and maybe you just need to find defeat, and then when you start building momentum, and you're on a consistent flow again. You're coming back and fighting tough guys. Like hats off to you.
No, it's true. That's true. I think that's the plan next year as well. Like I spoke to Lewis. Like me and him have loads of chats about this now, and like if I'm going to do it as well, because again, when I was winning all these things, I was fighting like 4, 5, 6. I think I think when I was like 17 to 18, I fought 9 times in the year, and I won 9 out of 9 as well. So like, but that consistency, like momentum, when I'm on that wave, like I feel like I'm really hard to beat. So next year I want to do 4 fights if possible. So I'm looking at the start of the year fighting, then maybe like a couple months later fight, and I'll just roll like again, like I was doing before, just all the excuses aside, just fucking do it. And if I try and I'm like, maybe I'm not the same. Like maybe I am different now. Like maybe things are different. Like at least I think the thing that ate away at me is like, if I retired now, like imagine looking back at 40 years old.
You don't know what's on the other side of the door.
That's it. And the way I'm, like I said, when I'm training and sparring and stuff like that, I'm like, there's so much more for me to do. Yeah.
And Lewis is a real one as well. I think I think he would say,
he'd tap you on the shoulder and say, McGowan, what's up, mate? Tim Reaper's here.
That's the thing. If you're not hungry for it, like, that's why, like, the question is, sometimes I ask myself, like, do I really want to do it? Or am I just doing it because it's all I know? But I wouldn't. If you'd have to come watching one of these sessions, but you like, if I wasn't hungry, I would not be training like that. Like, because it's fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, so, and we've been doing that the last few weeks. Like, we've been proper on it. So I am. It's just, I think I just need to get that one fight again.
You're probably too hard on yourself as well.
Yeah.
Which you would be though, because you're a winner. Like, people don't get to the levels. You're in the small percent of people of whatever you're doing. You don't get to the levels you've got to. People don't ever reach them heights in anything they do. So you are going to have that.
Yeah, I'm hard on myself. Even with like the gym and stuff now. Like, I look back, like, you know, and you said, can you believe, like, was it you saying 2 years ago? And I was like, nah, I can't. But now I'm like, this is fucking, it's not good enough. Like, 100 members, I want 200. Like, I think that's where the success probably will come from, because I'm always trying to get.
You're driven.
Yeah.
So it don't matter what you're gonna do. You're driven in aspects. But like you said, if you're dabbling at this and then you're dabbling at that, even if it's 20% of your mind's not 100% in it. Where these guys, if you're 100% in it, you're gonna win.
Yeah, like you see a lot of it at the moment as well. Like with like one championship, you see like Nico yesterday fighting Nongo, and
he looks massive, man.
Oh, he's humongous for that weight. It's crazy,
bro. Massive. Like, I was looking at him thinking, how is he this weight?
Yeah,
man?
I don't know how he does that. Like everyone's said the same thing. Like there's some big guys for the weight, but he is humongous. Like he's sure like 5'11" or something.
Yeah, but he's back and like he just looks so.
He's wham.
But Nongo, man, with them leg kicks, man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Did you watch the fight?
He's watched it. I've not seen it,
man.
Fucking mad.
He's just like jumping up, but once he had them hands, let them hands go.
I can't believe he started trading with him as well. Like, mad. But yeah, like, but you see people like him, like Nico, so hungry for it, and like that's again when Nongo's fighting like 37 years old. He's won everything. He's made money now. Are you that hungry? Are you that hungry like Nico? And well, it showed. Like Nico couldn't even walk. He was basically on one leg and he knocked Nongo out, like, because he's so hungry to win.
Yeah, he was chomping them legs, man.
Do you know what I mean?
I can't believe how. Well, you have to watch the.
And then it's like you saying that, like Darren Rowland after your fight, he couldn't walk. He swells on his head, like he might, but that perseverance of like the hunger, like I need to get through it.
Like, that's what made me really question myself. Like we sat in the doctor's room after that Darren Rowland fight, and he was like, he comes in, he's just beat me. And my ego and pride was hurting, but I didn't feel too hurt around my body. Like he hurt me, he winded me, but like after I finished like being winded, nothing else hurt. And he comes into the doctor's room and he's fucked, and I'm like, bruv, like
he was going off all just fucking ego, energy. Like he wanted.
That's it.
He just wanted.
And I remember I fought Paulo da Silva when I was 18 for the number 1 spot, and he smashed my legs up badly from like round 1 to 5. But I remember in the fight it hurt, but there was no way he was ever gonna drop me, like unless like my leg just gave in or something. But my mind was never gonna let me go down. that's what Darren done. Like, so I was obviously hurting, and he said to me, like, if you hit me with more low kicks, I think I would have dropped, and body shots as well. Fucking hell, you should have told me that in the fight, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't let me know anything. I actually stopped kicking.
Started trading elbows with him as well.
And even that, like, you started laughing at me then. I was like, shit. But like,
poker face, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like, but it's frustrating because I know I can beat him. That's the annoying thing. But there's loads of factors to it, like with stuff like that as well. Weight, I shouldn't be fighting that low. It's too low for me. Like, I'm killing myself. That was 57 kilo. But he's big. This is the weird thing. He was taller than me.
Yeah, he's big.
He was big as well. Mario's big. But
Gangly as well. Really,
but yeah, because they're
what
really
weight do you
skinny.
normally fight at? What
So-
was that? 50.
So that was 57. And then Sandro was like 58 and a half, 59. And then I fought Mario at 57 as well. So both 57 fights. And both times I got hurt to the body. But like, I felt like I've been hit. Mario's knee was sick, to be fair. To be fair, Mario caught me with a real good knee. But Darren's, I feel like I've been hit a lot harder. And that's what was really annoying me. Like, he dropped me with an elbow as well, and it didn't even hurt. Like, I can remember it landing, didn't feel nothing. My legs just gave way, and I just think I'm dehydrating myself way too much.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about the 2 losses as well, because I asked Lewis, and Lewis said you'd be better off probably asking McGowan. Do you think that's them? Well, you said it there. It's probably to do with the weight, but also, do you think it was to do with conditioning of the body, not conditioning in strength and conditioning of taking shots, that fight conditioning of, building that callus again of what shots hurt and what shots don't hurt.
I think
You've been out.
I think so. Like, probably because we actually spoke about this, me and Lewis. Sometimes when you haven't fought for a while, or even if you've had a couple of weeks off training, you come back and you feel a bit like soft.
Yeah.
Maybe, it could be because over the years I've never really got dropped to the body. I think once actually with a body shot, but I got up and I won the fight. But these ones, I feel like my body just gave up on me. It was weird. Like, can't really explain it. Mario was like genuinely just caught me with a real good knee. Like, whereas Darren wasn't. Caught me with a good shot, but it wasn't that
didn't
good.
feel
That when I watch it back, it makes you. I'm like, what is going on in that fight? Like, I just wasn't there. Like, I just couldn't get going at all. But I think the conditioning's a thing. Yeah. I think that's why I want to keep fighting, be more active, and also the weight. There was loads of factors, but I'd say the weight's a big one.
And you're like, going back to everything you just said as well, you're in a weird position because you were so young. So everything, the weights you were fighting at, everything, obviously you've taken that 3 years off and you're like a man now.
Yeah.
You're like 2 different people. So it's finding that probably weight again that suits you best. Like, you're basically just restarting your whole career, really.
That's it. That's what it feels like.
But you're trying to take over from where you left off, but you're restarting your career.
Yeah, I should have, like we said at the start, I should have probably went someone like a Sandro first, and then had a couple of them.
Because realistically, that's probably, like I said, going off momentum and consistency, you probably shouldn't have fought them people.
Oh, never, nah. Like, I shouldn't.
But because you're Dan McGowan, it's like you have to fight them people. This is your name.
And I was always like, I never wanted to just like have like shitty, like, I don't know.
You don't want to have a shit fight.
Like against someone I'm just going to beat up. I feel like it's pointless. But then sometimes it's a business. You have to do it.
Yeah, you got to play the game.
Yeah, like you got to play the game, and I didn't play the game in that sense. But you know what?
Fair play. Like,
it is.
You went in there, you went in there. A lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people
would not be going for them challenges.
that Mario fight at the time, like, I don't think anyone wanted to fight Mario because he'd been beating people before that, and then it was the first fight that got offered to me after that Spanish one fell through, and I was like, yeah, like, not even a hesitation. To be honest, I didn't really know much of him. Like,
he didn't even care, bro. He did not even care. He's like, yeah, go on then.
Like, where's he from? Spain? Yeah, I beat him. I speak loads of Spanish people already. And I swear that's probably something I said as well. Beat them already, so it's all right. Nah, but I watched a bit of him after. And I was like, he's all right. Like, he's good. But again, I was so confident in my ability that I thought I'd stop him, to be honest. And same with Darren. But again, like, going off on one a bit. But me and Lewis have these conversations all the time. And I was like, when I was winning these big fights, and even sometimes by knockout, I was always better when I didn't chase that knockout. Like, I would win by knockout when I didn't want to, in a way. Like,
it would probably come naturally. You wouldn't flow.
It's more like a timing. Like, the opening comes, I'll elbow, and I've knocked him out. But it came just because of pure, like, using my brain and using, like, the IQ. Whereas Darren, again, like, because I started getting this power, I kept saying to Lewis before the fight, I'm going to knock him out. every time I've done that in a fight, I've never knocked him out, and I've always had the hardest fight of my career.
It's like you've chased it.
Yeah,
You're chasing a girl on a night out.
Yeah, I'm chasing it too much.
She's running, bro.
Yeah, so that's literally what it is. Yeah, like I'm chasing that KO, and like it never works. But then if I fought when I fought Sandro, that I nearly KO'd him with a left hook, and I didn't even try. It was like just hit him perfectly, and I didn't rush in to try and finish him either, because my mindset in that fight was just win the fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because I lost against Mario, I was like, I need to come back and put a statement on and win. And by any means, if it's boring to everyone, I don't really give a fuck, because I need to win this fight.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the different mindset against Darren, where I was like, I need to knock him out. I need to put on a show, and I need to like make sure he's knocked out, so I make a statement. I don't know why I think like that, but again, I think it's one championship and like things like that. Like people are getting rewarded for like bonuses, and people are talking about how exciting the fights are. So subconsciously, I'm just probably thinking I need to put on a mad fight so everyone like enjoys it. But I feel like I'm always better when I'm
loose,
not thinking about that. And the fights are usually exciting anyway, so I'm just going to keep it with that mindset. Probably.
Yeah. I do want to talk about this as well, because you were just saying about taking the fights, and Lewis was here, and this was another one. He said you're gonna have to ask McGowan. He doesn't like talking about other people. He said there were some fights in the pipeline that were like crazy fights where he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Can you talk about any of them or anything?
One of them, so
get a drink down you. This one's gonna be going on a wild ride. You see his face? It was like, whoa.
It's like he don't want to mention it as well, because I don't want to try and like look like I'm using his name to like build myself, because I'm not. But I accepted the Jonathan Haggerty fight, and then I didn't even have a trainer. I come back from Singapore. I hadn't even fought for 3 years. I had no trainer in the UK because I hadn't started training with Lewis yet. I accepted the fight, and it all got accepted. There was 2 promotions that wanted it. It was Muay Thai Grand Prix and the main event. Well, it was the main event. They were coming back, but they didn't end up doing it in the end, I don't think. But they were both basically asking me, and they were like kind of fighting each other who's going to pay the most. So we both accepted it. So me and him accepted the money, the weight, the date, and then all that was left was for one championship to sign him off to allow him to do it, because it's out of the contract, and they wouldn't let him. So that all fell through. But to be honest, I don't know what I was thinking. Like not again. Like, I believe that my skill sets are better than a lot of these guys anyway. But not that I can't ever beat him. But at that moment in time, what am I thinking?
Consistent.
Yeah, like I hadn't fought for 3 years. My hand, I just started being able to make a fist again. I'd like, why the fuck was I thinking about fighting him first? Like, and that would have been terrible timing. Like, because obviously I come back and fought Mario, who isn't as good as him, and that didn't end great for me. But again, different styles though. I don't think he's got a complete different style to Mario and people like that. But yeah, like,
what was this in small ounce gloves?
Normal gloves.
Normal gloves.
Yeah. So
would you like to fight in the small ounce gloves? Or
if I get paid nice for it, like I said, it's not about money for me, but also my hands are fucked. So like, if I fought in MMA gloves, I have to be getting paid nicely for it, because I'm probably going to have an injured hand after it, and I won't be able to work properly after.
Yeah.
So like, I would do it. I'll watch them one championship fights, and I'm thinking, it would look. I'm kind of against it, but I'm for it. Like, I'm like, it does look pretty sick.
You got hands though.
That's what I mean. My hands have got so much better.
Quick hands, man. Like, so I think you could suit them small aerodynamic gloves, man. I think you might be putting that punch machine out.
You know that hard hitters, a UK thing. Here now, I'm thinking 4 ounce gloves, bro.
McGowan's going sizzle. I think it's in the one championship.
Oh mate, I think I would maybe one day, like, but politics and stuff, I don't think it will even happen, to be honest. But
why do you said that? You said that earlier.
Because
what is the politics?
No, it's not. It's not. I have. Well, I got the job at Evolve MMA, which is in Singapore. The owner of that gym is the owner of one championship, Chatri. And I was not signed to fight, but they wanted me to fight in their promotion when I was in Singapore, and I accepted loads of different fights. But because it was like COVID times, the events kept getting cancelled. It was all behind closed doors, and then they were trying to get fights for their actual people that were signed already. There was loads of stuff like that. So like, that was nobody's fault. That was kind of just the times. Then I ended up leaving Evolve just because I just wasn't really enjoying my time there. I was away from home. I was in Singapore and stuff like that during COVID. I left, and a few people said to me, like, you know, like, if you leave, like, you'll never get to fight on one. I said, nah, but I've not left on bad terms, so I'm sure they'll be fine. And they were like, nah, trust me, you won't. But this was multiple people said this to me, and I was like, don't know, like, it's different. I ain't done anything wrong. Like, I've left on good terms. I left, like, spoke to them all. It was all good. And yeah, like, ever since I went from like being offered some big fights and won championship when I was there to never got in contact again.
Yeah.
And like, you'd think like at that, and then they opened I wouldn't be able to make that division now, but they opened a strawweight division. That was my weight at the time, and they had no UK fighter there. Like, I was the best in the UK at that weight. So like, if you needed someone from the UK, like, you'd call me up. You called me up for the job for Evolve, so why can't you call me up for the one championship spot? Do you know what I mean? But that's why I think maybe politics have probably got involved, and then I probably said a few things online now, and
now it doesn't. Yeah.
I haven't, to be honest.
No, you've not said nothing bad, but if he is doing politics like that from just leaving the gym, then like, you even talking about it, he's probably like, fuck this.
Yeah, guy. And even like one of the matchmakers messaged me. Like, I knew one of the matchmakers of one. He was like, "Have you left Evolve?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, hopefully it doesn't ruin my chances." And he I can't remember exact words, but it was saying like, "Yeah, I can't really promise that," or something like that. And I was like,
Why? But you've left to go home. Like, you're like, I'm not like you've gone to a rival gym in Thailand. No, you're just like, I want to go back home. It's not really for me.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, yeah, don't know at all. Like, it's just a question you probably have to ask someone like him. But the thing is, though, like, he wasn't really involved. He was such a big player. Like, he's not really involved in the gym that much. Like, I used to see him like most days, but like, he wouldn't really say much. Like, the only time I ever spoke to him is when he asked me if I wanted to fight and won. Yeah. Like, and I said, yeah. And he asked me if my hands would be all right, and I was like, yeah. Like, they probably wouldn't have, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm looking into it. Maybe it is. Maybe
it's just weird because if a few people have said it, and then little things.
Like, you've been there though. Like, it's just.
So maybe like, and if like, yeah, I'd be open to it. Like, I'm open to anything, to be honest. Like, as long as I'm being treated well, fairly, I think that's all I'm asking for. Like, business is business. He doesn't have to be my best mate if he doesn't want to, but like, if he wants me to, like, if he needs a fighter at the weight and it's a good deal, I'm on it. Do you know what I mean? Whatever.
I'd just like to take this time to shout out our sponsors at Prime MMA. If you're looking to enhance your MMA skills and learn by one of the best coaches around, head over to Prime MMA now. It's as easy as clicking the link in their bio, selecting your class, selecting your purchase type, putting your email in, and then purchasing. With brilliant MMA and boxing fighters coming out of Prime, it's really the best time to start your MMA journey now. Head over to Prime MMA and let your mixed martial arts journey begin.
But yeah, like, we'll see. I don't know though. We'll see.
Obviously, you've brought out the Untold series as well.
Yeah.
So what was that like? It was over the Sandro fight and the Mario. No, not the Mario fight.
Mario fight was part of it where we watched it back.
Yeah, that was the first episode, wasn't it? Yeah.
And
then leading into the Sandro fight.
Yeah. And then I think with the original plan was to go into the Darren fight, but I think we'd already done the series at this point with the Darren fight. I think he kind of changed his mind on that.
Yeah.
Because we just wanted to get it out. Yeah. But there's a few. I think there might be a few clips from the Darren fight that he used just as like visuals and stuff. But yeah. So like, doing all the work with Mackenzie's sick. Like, he's so good at, like, when he has an idea, he's like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, but that series, that's like something you'd watch on like Netflix. Like, the production of it all and stuff. It was so good. Everyone I showed it to was like, they were saying how good it was. But that's why I want to build my YouTube more, because my socials are pretty good, like, as in Insta and Twitter and Facebook, all of them stuff. Like, all of that kind of stuff is really good, but my YouTube's still like probably the lowest out of them all. So, and it's like a completely different game, YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's all like, you have to put in long form content, and like, obviously Instagram's like all short form. So I'm trying to build it. So that's why I'm trying to do all these like fight reviews and to get more traction to the channel, and then put like, so then people can see stuff like that more, like, because that, I feel like that series deserves to have like loads more. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And hopefully, if my YouTube channel grows, people will start tuning in. Like, maybe re-upload it or something.
It's another way of getting followers and subscribers, and even generating revenue.
Yeah, that's it.
At a certain point as well.
Yeah, that's the goal. Like, is to try and smash the online stuff and go for it down that way. And I think most fighters should try. Like, it's free, innit? Like, you may as well try and fucking go.
Well, you're a brand as well at the end of the day.
That's it.
So you got.
That's it. And I'm trying to. I've got my website, and like, I think fighters need to do that. Like, if you want to really get any kind of, like, you need to be able to fight. That's number one. Yeah, I think because people are getting lost in it, and sometimes, like, I listen to like Joe when he's on here, or like when he's doing his interviews and stuff, and he talks about like the fighters need to sell themselves. It's like, I think number one, you need to be good at fighting. Like, so don't lose that. Try and be the best fighter you can be. That will get you to places alone. Then sell yourself. Like that's a secondary thing. Like sell yourself, and like sell yourself as a brand. Like try all these things. Keep posting on Instagram. Like again, I used to think, I'm being a bit annoying. I'm posting every day, but who gives a fuck? Like if they don't like it, they'll just not watch. Yeah, they won't follow you. Yeah,
follow me.
If they like it, people will follow you. And like usually when you put out good content, you get like the followers come in. So. And it helps for like getting big fights or sponsorship opportunities, or like you said, paid. If you're getting like views online and stuff, you can get paid. Like Liam Harrison, for instance, he's killing it, like because he's made such a big name for himself online. So yeah, fights should take a leaf out of people like his book. Like I'm trying my hardest right now, but like people like Liam's like living proof that if you really put yourself out there online, like guys fucking kill it. Like I don't even know, it's got to be millions he's making on his website now, like because he's monetized his following. Do you know what I mean? He's went into doing online coaching or training, and he's got like 50,000 monthly members on there.
Is he still actively fighting as well?
He's coming towards the end of his career. He says he wants maybe one more fight and then he'll retire. But but he could have finished fighting years ago. Like he's got the butt. He's the one. He's that kind of. He don't want to stop. Do you know what I mean? Like because it is a drug, man. It's so weird. And again, like you said, it's all you know. It is a drug though, like that. One, we're attention seekers, man. Like that's what I've realized. Like in a good way, like we do it. We're in front of thousands of people fighting. I love it. Like I love people like going, "That was fucking sick, mate."
Winning.
That dopamine.
It's just no better feeling, and that's what the addiction is. I think it's a hard. Like you, 1 minute you're in the limelight. Like when I was like 15 to 22, like everyone messaging me, like you got some big players in Muay Thai that I'd never thought even knew me. They're like messaging me like, "That was sick, mate. Well done." Rah, rah. Then you go from not fighting for a few years and like no one talks about you anymore. You're like, what? It's weird. Like that's when I realized, shit, this game's pretty fickle. Like 1 minute you're like the superstar, you're on a high, and everyone wants to be your best mate, and then the next minute nobody wants to know you. Like if you're not current, nobody gives a shit. That's just the truth of fighting. So people like Liam's killed it because he's monetized from now. So even if he I know he'll lose that kind of being in center of attention, but at least he made a life for himself outside of it. I mean, I think that's what every fight should be aiming for, to be honest.
Like you said as well, though, the being able to fight is an important thing. 'Cause you see it a lot in the UFC. The people who know how to market themselves, but are also winning every time. Like when Conor McGregor come through, people think he's just a loudmouth. He was knocking everyone out. He was fighting. So people were like, "Oh shit, who's this loudmouth knocking everyone out, calling his shots?"
All the best in history.
He was like perfect for it.
He perfect timing, everything.
Yeah.
He was like, it was perfect timing for him. Like, but he obviously was really good. But like, even if you look back, like Muhammad Ali, like all the greats and stuff, like they all talk shit or whatever. Or they say their bit, but they all backed it up. Like you have to be good, especially if you talk. Otherwise, you're just like an idiot.
Because I think the fans see it. If you're talking shit and then you're like, it's a boring fight, or you're not, and they're like, well, this guy's not really that good. So they're sort of like, they kind of come off the bandwagon a little bit.
Yeah, like Colby Covington's like prime example. Yeah. Like so, last week, obviously, he goes below the belt every time, but that last one was well below the belt.
Yeah.
but then I even watched that and I was thinking, this guy's actually like, you know, it's weirdly like funny. Like you laugh now. You're like, how does he get away with saying shit like that? Like I would never dream of even saying something like that. But like, then he lost and he didn't do anything that he said he was gonna do. And you're like,
and everyone's sort of like,
this is 2 times in a row, like 2 times now. And you're like, you've done it with Usman as well. And it's like, now people think that you're just a fraud. Whereas like, if he was actually just focused on winning, and not being a dickhead, it might be a different thing. Do you know what I mean? So. I think
that's just him trying to stay irrelevant, though, isn't it? He's trying to stay in the limelight.
Even after he's like in the press conference, that was the easiest fight. I was like, bro, you got beat. That means nothing. Like it's like me saying, like Darren Rowland, like bigging up about that whole Darren Rowland thing. Like, we were in the doctor's room, he was fucked. No, I wasn't. I got beat. It doesn't matter. He firmed it. I couldn't. So like, it's different. Like, and that's the thing, you got to back it up if you talk, man. You got to back it up. So yeah.
He just talks. I don't think it comes natural. Does it come natural from him? He just
like
talks shit though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like an actor.
I can't believe he got away with it though. Like he come like, dressed like a slave master or something. Like, no one said nothing about this.
Shit, he did as well, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's like talking about history, and Leon's like, "Bruv, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Bruv, you're black. He's a slave master." Like,
I didn't even fit. You know what?
I didn't even. He was like, his first thing he said, he goes, "He's dressed like a slave master." I didn't think anything of it either.
His jokes. I didn't even think that. Fuck. He probably was. He don't care, does he?
100%. And he's talking about America and patriarch and shit like this. It's just like, bruv.
So cringy. I find it.
But
cringy.
again, yeah, like you said, like he's probably not concentrating solely just on the fight. Concentrate, do your graft, and then come out.
Because when he was putting a pace on people and walking them down to the edge of the cage and throwing like all these shots in a round and putting them on their bum, everyone was like, "Well, he is good."
Yeah.
So he's talking shit, but you can't beat him.
That's it.
Because he's good. You got 25 minutes to beat him and you can't. And now he's getting beat. It's like, well, people were beating you and you're still talking shit. It's like,
don't make sense.
Yeah.
Then
Ian Gary's getting it a little bit now as well because he's good, but he's like good, but he's not really. Cut Gary, man. Any chance of getting him on the pod is fucked. This guy's insane about it.
I won't be on the pod.
But even him, he's sort of like he's talking a bit too much for. He's not like he finished that guy, that Rodriguez. It was a really good finish, but then after that, like the decision wins and stuff. Everyone's sort of like, but you're talking more than what your skill set's showing us. Sort of thing.
And again, like it might not even be that bad, like the whole talking. Like he might, I don't know, like, but the fans take things so differently. So like you could be talking and people are loving it at one point, and it's like you've said just a tiny bit too much, and now everyone thinks he's a cuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's been done online. Like now no one. You read the comments, it's actually horrendous. He gets done.
Everyone hates him.
Everyone
turned on him like overnight.
He's the bomb.
Like he was the guy, and now he's like.
All you need is Sean Strickland to like roast you on a tweet. Was it him and Colby Covington's idea as well? Like.
They're all against each other. It's like Leon Edwards. He don't say nothing.
Nah, he's just calm. I like him.
He just does what he just does what he does.
Yeah, and it proved. Like, I mean, it's proven it like a few times in a row now where he's not. No one can beat him. So he's obviously just focusing on his art, and that's it.
But I feel like everyone thinks they can beat him because he fights so like.
He don't do anything out of the ordinary.
It's like he just sticks to what he's good at.
Yeah.
But people look at that and think, oh no, that's easy. But then when people get in there, they're like, oh no, like you're not breaking him down.
Yeah.
Can't take him down. He will take you down.
Yeah.
Can't strike with him. Yeah. It's like he's big, he's tall, he's rangy. He puts you like at the end of the jab. He does everything so clean.
Yeah.
So,
and he doesn't really give anything away, does he? He's not like trying to rush in or anything like that. He's well calm and collective.
But that's where his audience might not go as far.
Yeah.
Because they want to hear
they want to see him talking smack, knocking people out. Even if he weren't talking smack, but putting pace on people and knocking people out, his audience would grow massively. But because he's not that type of fighter, but then he might be a champion for 3 years.
He probably will be. And then also, he's already made millions. So why does he have to anymore? Like, you know, people want it, but it's like he doesn't even have to.
Yeah, but that just shows he's just doing it. He's doing it for him, innit?
Yeah,
he's just being who he is, and he ain't trying to put on a show. He ain't trying to be a fraud to him. Like, he's just coming in there, playing his game, going home with a win. He's still got his belt,
which is the most important thing at the end of the day, isn't it?
That's true. Very true.
He knows himself.
Yeah,
I think
he's a G. I think he
is. Because I doubted him too many times. So. I'm not gonna lie. I used to think, he's gonna get smoked.
Colby was gonna beat him last week. To be fair,
after I watched him fight Usman the second time, it was the third time, wasn't it? I thought his takedown defense is different level. Like Usman didn't take him down that fight, or did he take him down?
Maybe once.
And then he took Usman down.
Yeah,
he took Usman down.
Yeah.
And he got straight back up.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I feel like he is misunderstood. I feel like a lot of people just think they will just tank him.
Yeah,
like Islam reckons he would just like roll him over. I'm just like, you little man. I don't think you're gonna just roll him over.
I don't think so. He's good. I think he's different level at the moment.
And we forget he's striking. He can strike. Like
he's got a Muay Thai coach, Henry from Corfit.
Yeah, because he done that girl, Princess Payne. Is that name?
Yeah. Lucy Payne. Yeah. So he's had some good fighters, Henry. They're all like really well schooled, but he got the link with Leon, and
because Ian Gary said that's the reason he goes to that gym.
Yeah,
because of that coach. Yeah. He said he's like a wizard, like he's a mastermind.
Yeah, he's a good Muay Thai coach, and he's got lads from like you know, grassroots. He's got some real good, like I remember even as juniors, he had a few good juniors, and like they were all really well schooled. Like you knew if you're coming up against one of his fighters, they'd be pretty well schooled, like good technique, like nice style. So yeah, now he's a good lad as well. He's a nice guy. But yeah, he's always fucking front, like he's there all the time now, isn't it? So it's fair play. Fair play.
What do you think of the Nongo Nico fight? We talked a little bit about it. We didn't go into like depths and details.
Yeah, so I thought Nico was going to win just because of his size, really. Like, he's so, like we said, he's so big for the weight. But so I was shocked that Nongo come out really quick, like how he did. Like, and he hurt him badly with the kicks and stuff. And then I was shocked in round 2 though, because Nongo's like a wizard. Like his IQ, that's what he's known for, is like real good IQ. But he started kind of trading with Nico in the second round. It's like, you don't need to trade with him. Like, if I was him and I'd done that much damage in round 1, that there's only a matter of time before that leg gives away. Like Nico could barely stand on his leg anyway.
He fucking chopped.
It was gone, wasn't it?
Yeah, bro, I looked at them kicks and I was like, "Fucking hell, man! Why let me putting me out?"
It was like he was just volleying his leg, but like even it was like proper. And like, even if he'd pick up the check, he was just kicking his leg still, and it was hurting him still. And he said that after. He said he was still hurting him when he was trying to block, and like you could tell. So all I would have done in round 2, a few fakes, like get a little bait from that like low kick, wait for him to pick up, drop, hit the leg a couple of times, and you would have won by KO. Like that should have been straightforward for him. But for some reason, he stood on the ropes and started trading with Nico, and then he got clocked with a shot. Then that just swung the momentum, and then Nico dropped him with the elbow, and that was that.
Do you think he was trying to come back from his last loss?
Yeah, probably. But it's weird because I'm actually like, I'm really good friends with Nongo, and like, so I speak to him quite a lot. And after the Haggerty loss, he was like, one thing he was doing a lot before the Haggerty fight was when he hurt someone, because again, he hurt Haggerty's leg with a low kick, and he rushes in, he goes, I think I get too excited, and rush in, I get caught. Because the fight before Haggerty, he fought Aliverdi Ramazanov, the Russian, and he got did he get dropped? No, it was kind of like a flash knockdown, but he didn't get counted for it. But he got hit with a punch, and it's because he rushed in after hurting him, got clocked in. Again, with them small gloves on, you get clocked once and you're done. Like, and he said to me after that, like, Haggerty was the one that actually put him out. He'd kind of got away with it a few times before, but Haggerty actually clocked him and like dropped him. Yeah, and then he said, "Oh, that's the thing that I need to work on. Like, I need to stop rushing in. Like, I need to be more calm." But then yesterday he
did trade.
He started trading, and I was like, don't know if maybe it's just an ego thing. Maybe it was, no, I can take this.
Because he had him on the legs though. Because Nico was like, he was just jumping up, and he was still getting hit. And he was
switching he switched southpaw to stop getting low kick, but he was getting his front leg booted in the end as well. Like he was just kicking anywhere.
You have to watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
It was mad.
It was sick. It was sick. And then but yeah, like, I was shocked that he traded with him, because like it could have went so different. But like I thought he was going to struggle to win purely because of size. Like, Nongo's probably smaller than me, but
right, is he?
Yeah, he's small, really small. I'll try to find a photo and show you after. But he's small, but
he's like
beefy.
Yeah. But that's the thing. He's usually, for that weight, he's usually small, but he's usually the one that's a bit of a tank. But then they weighed in, and you see them two next to each other to weigh in, and Nico's got bigger legs than him, bigger frame, and taller. It's like everything.
He just looks cut, muscular. He's.
I don't think he'll make that weight for that much longer though. I think that bantamweight division, I think he'll have to go up at some point, because he's young. He can make the weight now, but he'll struggle, I think. And they have to be hydrated on one. So fuck knows how he done that.
His whole team's over there now as well, isn't it? Like JP's Gallagher's over there. Stevie Irvin's in one now as well.
So I think they've got that Sword Dechapan gym that they train at, and I think JP's them all the time now. Coach, I think he's there full time, and then them guys go over there for camps. So they seem to have it like you've got like Stevie, Nico, and they've got another lad. I think it's James, a young lad, but like they've got a good little, because they're winning a lot. Again, when you're with winners all the time, when they're winning, and you're seeing like Nico's obviously knocking down these barriers constantly, like beating Nongo. Like, sure, like 2 years ago, if you asked would he beat Nongo, say no. So like, but when you see people breaking these barriers down constantly, it's like, well, it's actually doable. And Stevie's done the same. Like, Stevie's went into one. He's had a few good wins and like beating some champions and stuff like that. And Stevie couldn't punch before. He wasn't known as a big puncher, but he was really good at moving. But he's knocked a few people out on one, stuff like that now. So like, you know, like you can tell, like they obviously train together. They train hard. They're in good condition. So they're doing well. Like all of them guys are doing well, to be fair. So fair play to them.
And you touched on earlier about one. You said you kind of like it, but you don't. You're kind of against some of it. What's your actual thoughts and opinions on what you don't like?
I'm a purist, yeah. So I love Muay Thai, and I think it's beautiful to watch when it's done correctly. So like, and that's not saying like everyone has to always be like just doing nothing and looking good all the time. But like, you can hit with venom and be like exciting, but still like kind of know exactly what you're going to throw and throw it instead of just. I see some of these fights on Friday Fights now on One. They're exciting sometimes, but it's just two people swinging at each other. It's like go down,
just
fucking,
hands.
Go outside Pines, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go outside Pines and see that, like,
style.
innit? Like,
So you like the beauty of the martial art, where it's a little bit taken out because some people can just throw swinging hands.
that's it, and like where like it's all very calculated, where you can see what they're trying to do. Like, so a fight on that card yesterday. Did you watch all the card?
I didn't know.
So Tawanchai and Superbon. Like, if you get a chance, it's like actually it'd be good to get your opinion because you're not from a purist Muay Thai background. For me, that was my favorite fight to watch the whole night. But then to someone that isn't so purist, I'd be interested to see what you think about that, because I just thought you watch them and you think they know exactly what they're trying to do. Like, and it was like a chess match. I love that. I think that's where it's like, if you can do that, that shows how elite you are. Whereas anyone in 4-ounce gloves now can start swinging hands, and if they get clocked once, they get a knockout.
It's sort of like a puncher's chance. Really.
Yeah.
All these guys have got venom to put
And
each
the
other
problem
up.
is, like with them 4-ounce gloves in the UFC, you can't do that to someone because they'll go and do a takedown. They'll just come and take you down. Whereas in one, they can't take you down, so they've just got to back up and hope one of these shots don't catch them.
A lot of them just end up trading, hoping for the best and hoping that their shot lands first. It's like there doesn't seem like there's much method behind a lot of the fights anymore. It's like, right, hopefully I land first and that's it. And I think that takes away the beauty of the sport a little bit. But then you watch someone like Tawanchai and Superbon, and you watch them fight yesterday, and you're like, even when you watch like Nongo and Nico, like, even though Nico's like got a bit of a traditional purist style, but like he's also heavy-handed.
He was ready to just unload hands.
That's it. That's his thing. He's very good at like unloading with his hands. Like, whereas you watch someone like Nongo, and straight away you look at him and go, he knows what he's doing. Like, even though like I was a bit like confused about his second round, why he kind of done what he done, but just the way he stands, the way he's like feinting, you're like, nah, that guy is elite.
Yeah,
like, you can just tell the levels, and I think I'm hoping we don't lose that, because it's and also I don't know about you, but if you had like the one Friday fight share, let's say they have 12 fights on the card, every fight's the same. It's two people swinging and there's a knockout. The next fight's the same. It's like that kind of loses a novelty, doesn't it? Like, it
that's
kind of
what I
wears
mean,
off.
that's what we were saying with Lewis before. So it's like Muay Thai is like one championship's a different Muay Thai.
It's completely different.
It's completely different, because if you ain't, a lot of these people probably ain't gonna have that same power in
normal gloves. Yeah, like that. What I was saying about Stevie, like Stevie, I could be wrong, but I don't think Stevie's really stopped many people with punches. Probably never. I don't think he's ever stopped people with punches. He was never known as a puncher, just a real good technical fighter, moved really well. But he went on to one. He's knocked out 2 or 3 people with punches. Like, he was never known as a puncher ever.
I think I think it hurts Thai.
Yeah.
It hurts traditional Thai, because I think for us it's different. We watched, I watched traditional Thai before I watched One Championship.
Yeah.
Because I just think if I'm going to watch One Championship, I'd rather watch UFC, because I like the takedowns and the jiu-jitsu aspect of it. But for a casual fan, like if you're living in America and you switch on One Championship and you're like, this is Muay Thai, running into the middle of the ring and just throwing down. Like, I don't mind this. And then you actually watch traditional Thai, they might be like, oh, I'm not really a fan of that. Because like you said, it's slower, there's a lot of shots, but it's still exciting.
I think
it's calculated.
Yeah,
like you said, it's calculated.
Like, even if you go into all fight sports share, so like, to use what you like, boxing, you like all sports share.
Yeah.
So like, you've got all the elites like Terence Crawford right now, Canelo. Then you've got the Thai boxing, like your Nongos, your Superbons, your Tawanchais, like all the elite where you go, they are the best. Like Terence Crawford, for instance. So you watch him, you're like, wow, like he's just good at everything.
He's different,
but like the way he moves, like he knows exactly where he needs to be, what he wants to do. Like that Floyd Mayweather, again, pure like prime example. Like maybe not as easy on the eye to some people, but when you actually realise how, saying that though, the guy's multiple, like how many pay-per-view, he's got like the record in pay-per-view numbers. Obviously people want to watch it still. Like I think people appreciate the beauty of it. Some, like, you know, when you're not getting hit and like, you know exactly what to do, you know, you need to be out of the way by that much to land that punch. Like, I think that's beautiful to watch. And like all the best fighters in the world have that kind of thing to their game where they just know exactly what they need to do. They're not just running in throwing wild.
The difference is, see, boxing's boxing. And then Muay Thai is Muay Thai, and One Championship's not Muay Thai.
No.
Because it's bum rushy.
Yeah.
It's quick. So realistically, a kickboxer could compete doing Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And just bum rush.
Yeah.
So that if you trained your whole life Muay Thai to fight Muay Thai, and you come one championship, well, you're not fighting.
I think you could be a boxer and go in one championship.
And chuck some kicks.
Yeah. They don't really. That's another thing. So like when you fight the Thais before, like when I was fighting in Thailand, the clinch was always really like they were like like Khabib's really strong in in wrestling because they've done it from babies. Same with the Thais with the Muay Thai clinch, like. They grab you and like, whoa, you don't want to be part of that. Like, you're
get away.
You're trying to get away from that clinch. Yeah. So like, I always tried to like nullify the clinch, like a bit like takedown defense, I suppose, and get out of there and try and like hit my shots on the outside. But now one championship are kind of like, as soon as they get into the clinch, Thais ain't allowed to work in the clinch. They break it straight away. So it's kind of like kickboxing with elbows now. So like they're allowed to throw elbows, but no clinch. So it's basically kickboxing.
It's not Thai.
It's not Muay Thai.
But this is where the issue is, because now is he doing it because like you might not even want to speak on it, I suppose.
Business.
But is he doing it because he loves Thai, or is he doing it because he just thinks? Well, he obviously loves Thai, but I mean, is he taking it to where he's taking it to for the love of Thai, or is he taking it to where he's taking it to because he's like, I can make this massive and get loads of money? There's a difference.
I think the second thing. Yeah, the second. Yeah, like I feel like he probably does love it, like, or like to a certain extent he loved it, but you've changed it.
But he probably knows as well what's going to be more exciting, what's going to sell more. That's the problem.
Exactly.
It's the excitement of, like you said, UFC. Bum rushing. That's why they say about Edwards. Oh, he's not as good as he good because he don't come like Colby.
But the issue is, I think what you're onto something though, because I watch Alex Rose fight when we're at CFS. I watch her fight and I go, I can't like take my eyes off it.
Yeah,
I'm like, fucking hell, she throws free kicks, moves out the way, moves out the way, and I'm like, it's like beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
So I think casual fans find beauty in authenticity, and one championship's not authentic, and I think that's what might actually be hurting it a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're correct. Yeah. I think
if that CFS show when we first went to watch was live on TV, I guarantee loads of people would fucking.
But I think there's an issue because there's you can show it live. Yeah, like for instance, this podcast. Yeah. I think everyone we do is really good, but if it's not marketed correctly and things are not pushed out in certain ways and you can't do it, it's never going to go nowhere.
No.
And I think that's the difference with Thai. Like, you could watch a Thai event, a regular Thai event, but if someone's not pumping money behind it and marketing it to where they know what's going to manipulate the fan's head, it's not going to go nowhere.
That's why one have done so well as well, because they've got like the owner is a big player in like the kind of, I think he was in like Wall Street or something like that. Anyway, like a big investor. He knows all the big investors. And
he could probably take a little bit of an L, but obviously their long-term plan would have been to like, if they got investors, listen, it's a business.
They've got there was a report that got put out saying like they'd lost like 360 or 70 million or something. I don't know if it was like this year or like within 2 years, and they're constantly losing. But he chucks away 50 grand bonuses like it's going out of fashion, like on that show yesterday, or he gives $10,000 bonuses away as well every fight. So he must know something. There must be a plan.
Sometimes I feel like a lot of business they lose at the start, but when they gain momentum,
it's crazy. Like 370 million in a year.
But how much did they put? Maybe they're looking at maybe like the UFC and seeing, okay, if they were turning around this at this point. This is where we add up.
But this is the thing, it's you got to play the long game, because the UFC started off where people was like barbaric, don't like it, probably hated, and everything went in stages. Like jiu-jitsu done really well, wrestling done really well, striking done really well, and now it's like mixed martial arts does really well. If you can mix it all together, you'll be the best, like Leon Edwards. And if he could do that with traditional Muay Thai, I think it would just take longer to do. Because he knows how to market, he knows what people are going to like. And I think in the long run, it would work out. Like, UFC's not really changed. No. Like, it is, UFC is MMA. And I think that's what, I look at one championship, as a casual. And from listening to your podcast and what you've talked about with Lewis on there, I'm like, well, the best fighters in the world are not even on one.
Yeah, it's like who's the
best? Because there's a lot of belts. There's a champion. You see someone in their bio, they're a champion in something. I'm like, I don't know who the best is in Thai. I don't know who the best in the world is.
It's still very hard.
It's all up in the air.
Because again, like one championship's completely different to Muay Thai. Like, where are we going?
That's it. It is a weird one. It's kind of like, it's weird because it's kind of good for the sport, but then at the same time, sometimes I think it isn't. It is a weird one. But like they've killed it. I suppose they've put more eyes onto Muay Thai, I suppose. Or like, because before people didn't really know Muay Thai at all.
Yeah.
So like, I suppose, is any they say any publicity is but good publicity.
Yeah.
I suppose there's a couple of English people, like you said, fighting on there. They're gonna be champions.
But I think it'll get to the stage where, like, because you hear Rogan talk about, he's like, if the UFC could like purchase that,
Muay Thai.
they could blow it up because the UFC pay-per-view model. But then is Joe Rogan looking at one championships Muay Thai and thinking that's Muay Thai, like that's what Muay
Well,
Thai
he talks about one.
Yeah, he talks about one a lot, doesn't he? So is he looking at one's model and going like, that's what could blow up, like, but it's not traditional Muay Thai.
Nah,
I think you're going to turn all the traditional Thai people away from it.
You are already like, I'm on Twitter and it's actually jokes because you got like some proper like, it's like their job is just to be a troll, but I think it's hilarious. Yeah. So sometimes I go on there and they're obviously like just pure Thai boxing traditionalists, and they hate one, like proper hate. Like sometimes I'm like, I go through stage, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, man. But then sometimes like yesterday I watched a card, I'm like, that was sick.
Yeah.
So like, I'm still kind of 50-50 with it. Like sometimes I think it's really good. Sometimes I think, nah, it's ruining it a little bit.
And maybe they've changed too much for maybe there could have been a balance. Like if you could clinch with it and stuff like that, maybe there would be. There'd be. If you left the rules in there but lowered the gloves, maybe it could swing it back around for the
or like offer your bonuses still, like, because that's basically what they're doing is that there's a load of like, the Thais are poor, yeah. A lot, to be honest, most of the fighters that go there like that live in Thailand, they're all poor. So you offer them $10,000 to win by knockout. What do you think they're going to try and do? But if they would do the same with big gloves, like with normal Muay Thai gloves on or boxing gloves or whatever, they'll do the same thing.
They'd still go for the knockout.
But they'd have to be a bit more calculated with bigger gloves. I think it would still work, but I don't know. But then there's loads of people out for it. Like, I think when you say this though, people think you're a hater straight away. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just giving my opinion on it. Like, I think
not even massive in the sport. I just think there's.
You know what? It's actually nice to hear you two say that though, because you ain't come from the same sort of background, and I thought you guys would have been more for that one championship style, but. It's good to hear that.
Yeah, maybe
I think it depends what you. I think there's loads of like aspects. It depends what you see first. It depends what, like, because if you see that style and you think that's Muay Thai, you'll then watch traditional Muay Thai and be like, this might be a bit boring. But if you do it the other way around, you might be like, well, this is completely different to this. Like, so it's. I think it just depends.
Like jiu-jitsu, you get jiu-jitsu and then you get the slap jiu-jitsu. And I'm thinking, I watched it the other day for the first time. I'm like, what the fuck is this? A man just slapping
people get knocked out. People get knocked out.
When it's no point, have hands. What's the point? Why don't you slap? MMA? That's so girly.
But these are people like close palming people on the floor, and I've seen people get put out. Man.
Yeah, I'm
like, that is mad.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you may as well just do MMA. Like it.
Yeah, that is weird. That's basically
because again, it's a martial art. There's fun in watching people roll and work out. It's like a calculation. They're working out. They're trying to break each other down. But when you got slaps coming in, it's like
that's basically the one championship of BJJ.
Oh man!
But I think it's all about. But it's I suppose like you said, it is perspective. Yeah, it is good to have these conversations. See what other people think.
The one good thing I'd say as well for one is that there are people like your Haggies, your Nikos that have probably made it full time now. So fair play, like they've given them that.
Yeah.
So if there's more money and if people are actually doing all right, then fair play. But I just think as a sport in general, I think I preferred it when it was more traditional, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes in the next few years. And if that whole, like, because the reports, I see these reports all the time about them losing money. It'll be interesting to see like how long they'll keep going down that trajectory, because if they keep losing money, they're not going to survive, are they? Like, let's be honest. So, and I still don't think they've really got a pay-per-view star. Who's their pay-per-view star that you're like that are going to sell hundreds of thousands of pay-per-views? You probably couldn't name one. Like you like Nongo, you know who they are, but how many of the world is going to buy a pay-per-view for Nongo or Nico? Or
it's still not like that big, is it?
That's it. It's not. It's like,
I feel like it's growing though.
It's definitely growing. It's growing. So like, hopefully it keeps growing, and then like, because I see another thing is like this whole Sky Sports deal.
It's pretty.
It's big. It sound, but I feel like it is big. I feel like it sounds really good. But then when are they going to be showing the events?
Yeah.
If it's a live event, that's going to be on a Friday at like 1 o'clock and 1 p.m. Everyone's working. And then if it's the one prime cards that they do, the American times, it's on at like 3 a.m. Who's going to?
So it doesn't actually cater for the English audience.
Maybe I'd stay up.
Yeah.
Maybe the only thing they capture is clips.
Maybe.
Sure, like during the day or something, Sky Sports.
That's it. Or like
you see a clip.
It depends what Sky Sports do. Yeah, like it depends how much they push it.
Yeah.
So like and it depends on what the kind of deal was. Did Sky give them a budget like, right, here's millions to put on big events, or was it one approaching Sky going, can we get on your platform so you can push us a bit? And if that's the case, they're probably not going to get pushed as much. Whereas if Sky Sports are giving them a budget, they'll probably fucking be putting them on Sky Sports News.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like,
I generally can't see how it can't be big though.
Nah, same.
Like if you watch boxing, this is just, it's more savage. I loved it, innit? The first time we went, I was like, how is this not on TV?
Yeah.
How? Like, how?
And that was normal Muay Thai, innit? Yeah,
yeah,
CFS,
normal Muay Thai with gloves. I'm like, how?
Any of them
It's
CFS
brutal.
events could get put on Sky Sports and people would love it.
100%.
100%. Like, because, I mean, there's the fights tonight. Like, obviously, there's in Saudi, innit? And is that tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah, that's tonight, innit? And, like, how many people will tune into that? But, like,
To watch some dead fights.
Yeah.
Like, listen, every single fight I think we watched was fucking entertaining,
Yeah.
from kids to adults.
yeah, the kids even
the
sick.
kids, it was just like flying knees and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's non-stop. They're coming in, they're clattering. It's just like,
Yeah. I don't know how it hasn't got bigger, but
Time, I suppose.
Yeah,
Time will
timing,
tell,
probably.
yeah.
Timing, definitely. But yeah.
who do you think wins at Haggerty, Nico?
See, like, straight when I watched Nico yesterday, I was like, I can't see many people beating him just because how strong and big he is at that weight. But it's a completely different fight. Nico versus Haggerty is completely different to him and Nongo, because Haggerty has like quite good footwork. He'll get out. He won't just be sat on the ropes constantly. Like Nongo got caught on the ropes yesterday and didn't really move. And that's that kind of like Thai style. Like they like to just stand. And they don't really use footwork to get out of trouble.
They just want to face your head off.
Yeah, or they were like grabbing the clinch, but he didn't do that. But whereas Haggerty won't probably get pinned down like that, because he will like use his footwork to get out of trouble, and he will use his teep a bit more maybe. But Nico's so big, man. I can't see many people beating him at that weight, if I'm honest. Like
I had to watch back like a Haggerty fight just to see the size of that Nico, because I was like, Haggerty looks tiny.
yeah,
compared to
like
him.
it wasn't long ago that Haggerty was like fighting at 59 kilo. Now he's fighting at 65 kilo, but he went to 61 then 65. So like he's small for that weight, whereas Nico has fought at like 68 to 70 kilo, I'm sure, and now he's gone down to 65, hydrated as well. He's huge. Like, he'll probably go into the ring at, I don't know, like 70 odd kilo.
Yeah.
He's got to, like, he's huge.
He's a big boy.
He's big. So yeah, I think if I was to put money on it, I'd probably put money on Nico, but Haggerty's probably better. I think Haggerty's got better skill set. So it'll be interesting. See if that skill set will like keep his power away. Do you know what I mean? So
that would be a good fight.
It would be a
Sky
sick
try
fight,
and push that on Sky.
that's what I mean. They need
in
to,
an English.
they need to make
that could work.
That's what they need to do. They need to like. There's some English stars now. Haggerty could be a star. Nico could be a star in Scotland. Make them the pay per view, because like to be honest as well, because they speak English. Like it makes it so much easier. When you got like Rotang, he can't speak English.
Well, you see, it's
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like, you're not going to make him a pure pay-per-view star just by him tapping his head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He has to be able to talk, and I know it sounds bad, but if you don't speak English, no one really cares. Like that's just how harsh it is, isn't it? It's facts. Like because like if you want to hit America or England, and you have to hear a translator translate, people are like, it's long, bro. Like,
It's so mad, I don't want to wait for him to say that. Like,
it's so
I've got to
true.
listen to him say it twice, but I don't understand the
Innit?
first one.
So that's it. So I think they need to get on to people like Haggerty. He's young, like he's marketable. He's not a bad looking lad. Like he's ripped. He's in good shape. Like he's got a big following now. Like if they did that, then and same as Nico, like you're laughing. Like you probably really push
make
them
them into
to.
stars.
That's what needs to be done.
They generally could as well.
Yeah, I think so.
If they push it.
I think so. Yeah.
We got a load of Insta questions as well from the people, from the mighty McGowan's army. Is there anything in your fight career you regret or would have done differently?
No regrets, man. No regrets. But if I had to change something, probably what we said at the start, like probably mapping out my return like properly instead of like just fucking going into the deep end. But
I feel like that's just your journey.
But I still
That's
don't
who
even
you are.
regret it. Yeah, I don't regret that. But like,
If you had to, like,
if I
tweak
had to
something,
like, if I had to
it'd be
tweak
that.
something, it'd be that. Probably,
What gyms in Thailand would you recommend for a fight camp?
there's so many now, man. It depends really, because like you can go to Thailand, there's so many gyms, but because everyone goes there now, the gyms get so busy. So it depends if they'll look after you. If you go for a week or two, the gym's probably not going to really care about you that much. If you're there for a few months, they'll take more interest, because they'll be like, all right, you're a work in progress. So when I went, I'd be going for months and then I'd fight for the gym. So like it was within their best interest to work me hard or do it properly. Whereas if you're just a tourist going for a couple of weeks, that's where like it's really hard to find a gym. Like there's one gym actually, it's in Hua Hin, Sitchapo Muay Thai, and like they've got 2 twin brothers that were like fighters out of the gym, and they're like probably one of the best technical fighters. Like I think they fought Senchai and people like that. And they're like, anyone that goes to their gym always has sick technique when they come back. So that's one gym I've never been, but I want to go myself, like just to train with the brothers. For technical, like if you want to get better technically, I think that's probably the gym. I think that's a good gym to go to. Yeah. But there's so many in Thailand now. But yeah, you it just depends how long you're there for and what your kind of goals are. If you're just like say if you wanted to go now and you just wanted to get a little bit better at Muay Thai because you hadn't done it much, whatever. Are you going to get looked after? Because they'll be like, I don't really care, I've got a fighter. He's fighting next week.
They'll put more effort into the other people. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that Hua Hin gym though, Sitchapo is a really good gym.
Yeah. Best right kick in the game. What's the secret?
I've got the best right kick in the game. Yeah, standard. Someone said to me the other day.
I was listening to the video and I was like, "Oh, Rain, who do you reckon this is?" And he's like, "You've got to be McGowan."
I was in the gym doing S&C the other day, and then one of the girls that works in reception, she was like, "Wait, you're actually like, you don't look like you can fight, but like, I was watching you hit pads. You sound like a dog." I was like, and she was like, yeah. And I was like,
you do sound like a dog.
I put it on. I was like, yeah, I actually do, you know.
Sound like a little dog. You do.
Secrets of the right kick. So my Thai trainer, Pan, like he just used to, it was just the whole round would be like kicking only. Then it would be like left kick only. Then it would be knees. Like we focus on like one weapon just the whole round. But like I think when my right kick started getting better, we emphasize on that more. So just drilling it. And I'm like a bit of a geek with like the whole mechanics of like the movements of stuff. So like I used to like kind of, and my trainer Liam Robinson, who passed away, he was like he was a proper geek. He's the one that kind of made me a geek, to be honest. And he'd be like, right, when you step like this, you got to use this hip more, and little things that you would probably not even notice. So I started like looking into things like that, and I was like, all right, so if that makes me get more power, then I'm going to do more of that, and just kind of go down a rabbit hole trying to see what actually makes your kick stronger. Just a bit of a geek, man. I love shit like that. So yeah, drilling it, doing it every day. I just think millions and millions of kicks over the years. Do you know what I mean? Just constantly. I still do it with Lewis now. Even now, like I'm 18 years in, and like me and Lewis will do a round of just kicking or just 1-2. Like we'll just drill the basics constantly because that's always what's going to win. So yeah, just drilling it, being consistent. Again, consistency, doing it all the time.
Story you've not told any media but could help other fighters trying to succeed.
Ooh.
Stay away from Evolve. Don't even sign up so you don't have to fuck the chances
up. Yeah,
that's a good one, isn't it? Just stay away from there.
Think about. Yeah, probably that. But yeah, other than that, like, I've not really got any kind of
skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, nothing really.
How do you see the Muay Thai scene changing? What do you like? What don't you like?
Sorry, what was the last question fully again? I think I might have one like that could be a bit knowledgeable.
A story you've not told in any media but could help other fighters trying to succeed.
Like, I don't even have to tell the story, but like, I think having like, in all seriousness, having a good coach or someone that looks after you properly. Like, I had some really good coaches, like Liam Robinson. Like I said, he passed away, and then my Thai trainer Pan, he's looked after me like ever since I really started properly. Then I had since when Liam died, I tried a few different gyms here and there. It was hard because Liam put like 1000% effort into all of his fighters. So trying to get that from anyone's hard. So I hadn't really found that since. And then obviously, and also not just that, like people can put time in, but then it's like, what's their intentions as well? Like, is it pure intentions? And like moving to Lewis's, like ever since I've moved to Lewis, it's like being back with like Liam Robinson again. Like same sort of like work ethic, like he's so passionate about it. He wants me to do well. He doesn't like money's not in it. It's not a money thing. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing like that. It's just pure love and pure passion. And I think that's the main thing. If you're a fighter, a young fighter, and your coach isn't putting that passion into your training, then move on.
Yeah.
Loyalty is good. Like loyalty is a good trait to have, but if loyalty is holding you back, then you've got to move on sometimes. And I think I've done that in my career a couple of times where I'm like, I don't really want to leave because I don't want to be like unloyal or whatever. But if I didn't make them decisions, I would never have been
best
here.
Interest,
yeah,
You've got to be selfish.
Yeah, you have to be
selfish.
You have to be. So yeah, like sometimes loyalty is good, but sometimes it does pull you back. So if that is the case, move on, man.
Yeah, love that. How do you see the Muay Thai scene changing? What do you like? What don't you like?
So Muay Thai, like, I think the 4 ounce glove thing is going to be a big thing. I think we're losing the beauty a little bit. I don't know how the traditional Muay Thai can start outpowering that though, because like One Championship is such a big machine now for Muay Thai. It's like a big player in Muay Thai. They're doing like RWS do events in Thailand and stuff like that, and they're like a kind of competitor in a way. But yeah, I don't know how.
Are Hitman's Road 2s ones, are they going to be with small gloves?
Yeah,
they are going to be with small gloves.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of like embedding that into.
That's what I mean. Now
into England,
are
because
you changing a whole?
Yeah,
scene?
it kind of feels like he's trying to.
A lot of promotions are trying to do the 4 ounce thing as well.
Yeah.
And but like again, you're crazy if you're finding them 4 ounce gloves without being paid properly for it. So like, I know a lot of promotions are like, I want guys to do 4 ounce fighting or 4 ounce gloves fighting, but we'll be paying them a couple £100. It's like, if you're taking a fight for a couple £100, pure stand up in 4 ounce gloves, you need to give your head a wobble, man, because you ain't gonna have a long career. Like, and this actually going back to the whole one thing, that will be an interesting thing in the future, because have you seen the state of their faces after the fights?
Yeah, bash.
Like, how long? Like, it's quite a new concept, and there's like people going, oh no, it's more dangerous with boxing gloves. We've got no data on pure Muay Thai 4 ounce gloves for like years and years. So it'll be interesting to see in a few years how much effect that is actually having on some of the fights.
You have to think, I can't see how it is. Like boxing, it's bigger gloves. Obviously, they do the 10 counts, but they do the 10 counts in Thai.
Yeah.
But with small gloves.
Yeah.
So you can get hit, clocked. Whereas in UFC, you get clocked, someone's coming on the ground, it's finished.
Yeah.
Whereas you get clocked, you're still getting a 10-second rest. Imagine in MMA if they gave you a 10-second rest when you got clocked.
Yeah.
Like then you could be talking, maybe it's not.
I think
I didn't think about it.
I didn't either. Maybe that doesn't. I didn't. And it's pure. Again, it's like it's pure stand up with 4 ounce gloves. Imagine boxing with 4 ounce gloves. It's sort of like the boxing with the no gloves.
Bare knuckle.
That's what it would be like.
But another thing as well, it's not just the brain kind of and the facial kind of thing that's a problem. It's like, so I've been with fighters. I went to a few One Championships where I've like cornered people and stuff, and their hands like straight away, like Savas, for instance, he broke his hand when he fought in Jakarta. There was a couple of them that come out of hand injuries. Most of them come out of hand injuries because that glove is like, if you felt their glove, it's mate, you may as well not wear anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of just probably to protect your knuckles a little bit.
Yeah.
Very bare knuckle.
But yeah, it's basically bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Like basically, yeah. So it'd be interesting to see like how much it affects if I was a young fighter, I said this and the matchmaker of One actually got on to me, like he started writing, so that's why I know he probably hates me. But like I basically said, if I was a young fighter, I wouldn't be rushing to get on One yet. Do your thing in normal gloves first and build experience that way of like getting in the ring and doing all of that stuff before chasing One, because if One's still there when you're good enough, you'll be good enough to go for it. But don't just rush into it now, because I don't think it's longevity. I don't think it's good for them.
Yeah, like Amber Kitchen's face after her last one.
Yeah,
fight, gee, I was like,
it's mad, isn't it? Like
it looked hurt. Yeah, it looked hurt.
And like I remember,
it looked hurt. Like she looked like she was in pain. The next day,
and like the face looked like swollen up.
Yeah,
like, it's never nice to see even men, but like when you see the girl's face and you're like, like Lisa, I know, like she trained with me a little bit. She trains in Thailand now. She fought on One like 3 or 4 times. And like her eye was like that, and it's just like, oh, man, like I don't know.
It's different when you see girls.
Like, I don't know. Like you just think, I don't know if you should. But then they're savages. Like they are savages. I don't want to be like sexist, but like it is just
misogynist.
I'm gonna get cancelled.
Misogynist.
But like it is like we're just not used to seeing the girls like faces looking bashed up like that.
I think it's because like some of the girls are actually like decent looking, so then you know what they look like before, and then you're like, whoa, that looks like this is it doesn't look good. Whereas men are kind of like you see men with bruises, you're like,
you see beauty in it.
Yeah.
You see like brutality.
When you see
like,
men, it's like men's like it's fighting, physical. Like we've always been known to want to fight. You go down to the pub, all men at egos, like they want to fight. So like, whereas girls ain't really like you said, the girls ain't like that. So, but yeah, like, but even the men, some of their face, like, fucking hell, like Jesus. Man. I hope you're getting paid well, like, because can't be good for you.
Yeah. Pan Petch, their relationship is amazing. Why, how, when?
Yeah, so I moved to Bedford from Luton. I went to a gym called East Area, and Pan was just in the corner. I didn't really know Thai boxing that well at this point. So this Thai guy's in the corner. He started chatting to me. He's like, come do some demonstrations. Well, not demonstrations. He was like, come do it with me, basically, some of the techniques. So I started doing it, and he's like, he was, again, passion. Like, showed straight away. And I was like, just liked his energy. He didn't barely speak. He still doesn't speak much English, but at that point, he was new in England. So it was like his really broken English at this point. But like, I just fed off the energy, I think. And then started doing like one-to-ones with him more. But again, it was one-to-ones, but he never took any money from me. He just wanted to train me. And then, just grew like that over the years, really. I was like 11 and I'm still with him. I'll have him in my corner. I don't train with him as much anymore, maybe like once a week, because he works full time and stuff like that. So we don't get the chance to train as much, but I'd always have him in my corner, like, because he just makes me feel good. Like, he's been in my corner most of my fights, except from if I was in like Thailand and he couldn't come. But having him in the corner just makes me feel good because he's been there, done everything. So if he's telling me you can do this, I know I can.
Yeah. Is he there with the other lads now in your gym as well?
So every Saturday, so he helps me out with the gym now as well. Like every Saturday he comes down, teaches, and he helps all the fighters out as well. So it's sick.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
Yeah, he's just a good guy. Like, he's a diamond, man. Yeah, such a nice guy.
Favorite moment with Liam Robinson?
Ooh, so many, to be fair. But fight wise, I'd say when I fought Paulo da Silva, because I was 18 and I don't think anyone really expected me to win it. And Paulo was like pound for pound. They actually did a list of like pound for pound hardest hitters in the UK at the time. And I think Tim Thomas, who trains with us, he was number 1. I think Paulo was number 2. Andrew Tate was number 3. And so Paulo was unknown. He was a small guy, but knocked out loads of people. I've seen him knock out people when I was like 11. And then ended up fighting him when I was 18. And then so me and Liam were the ones that were like, yeah, no, we can win. We can win this fight. I felt like me and him were probably the only couple that really believed that I could do it. So when I done it, that was mad. Like, mad feeling. Like, as a like coach and fighter relationship, like, yeah, that was fucking sick feeling. Even though I was battered after it, but like, it was just such a sick feeling knowing that I'd done that. But outside of fighting, I went to Thailand with him a few times. Fucking jokes. Yeah. We had some good times. We had some fucking good times, man. Like, yeah, he's like, the first time. So when we went to Petchindy, that was the first time I went with him. And like, that time I was just like, looking back on him, like, shit, I was 15 just with my boys in Thailand. Like, because they were all older than me. I was young, but they were all still my best mates. Yeah. So I was there. My mum and dad let me do so much when I was young. But we had some, like, I was just there with my boys, just fucking, I fought and then we'd go out, fucking party, and it was just sick. Yeah, just loads of good times with him. But like, say, fight career was that one. Paulo was like a big moment.
What made him a good trainer?
Saying like, the thing with like the passion, like, you could just feel it. Also, I feel like this is what I'm trying to do with my lads. I'm trying to like, I want a relationship where it's like a brotherhood, yeah. So it's like, I want them to look at me if they need to talk to me. If they rang me now and they needed some advice about just life, I want to be the guy that they would like message or whatever. And also, I want to be that guy that will banter with them and have a good laugh. But then when it's time to switch on, like, I want to be that guy that flicks the switch. And that's what Liam was really good at. Like, 1 minute we'd be all in the ring just pissing about, like, chatting shit, like mugging each other off. And then the next minute he's like face serious, and you just know you have to get down to the work. Do you know what I mean? And but he didn't even have to say anything. It's just like this, like, boom. It's just like a look, and you're like, okay, like, and that was it. So I just listened to everything he said, and then also, like, same thing, like money, like people, like, so the thing is, like, people have to make money. That's not a problem. It's when people are like chasing money out of and trying to like just, I don't know, bleed the fighters dry out of money. Like, we don't earn enough anyway. Liam never took a penny off of us. So like, as soon as someone does that, you know it's pure intentions. Like, he just wants the best fight team. And then again, it showed, because we had like 10 or 11, maybe even more A-class fighters that are all under 30, all in the top 3 or 4 rankings in the UK. Like, I was 18, I won the UK number 1. I think Macaulay was like 19, 20, he got number 1. There was like Sam. There was so many. Like so. But because he was so passionate about it and he'd done everything out of goodwill, basically, like because he just loved it, you fed off that energy. And then like he was like, and also he was like perfectionist. So like same thing what I was saying about like with the kicks. Like, all right, if I'm stepping like that, like I remember when I first went to him, I couldn't really knee that well, so I wasn't really good at kneeing. I was good at kicking and punching, but really shit at kneeing. And he was like, all right, step here. But I'm like, yeah, but I basically stepped there. He's like, no, you step there, not there. I'm talking like millimeters, yeah. He's like, no, trust me, make all the difference. And I'd do it. And I was like, oh shit, yeah. And then like, so he was just pure perfectionist. It had to be like completely perfect. Otherwise he'd be like, nah, shit. Do you know what I mean? So like that, like his standards were high as well. So yeah. And then after that, I started stopping everyone with knees. But that's just like little, and then that's when it really opened my eyes. Like, shit, this guy's mad. Like that little thing made such a big difference. So like, and that's what he was really good at. He could like point out these little things and it would make such a big difference. So yeah, I'd say that's what made him a sick coach.
Wicked, man. Outside of fighting, what's your toughest battle been?
I suppose it's to do with fighting still, but my hand. Yeah. Probably, yeah, because I had like multiple surgeries on my hand. So like it wasn't just I got the surgery and then it was all like the rehab and then you're back to normal. Like that's what it was supposed to be. Then I got a surgery fucked up. So I had to get another surgery and then another surgery. So, but in between all of that was like a 3-year process. I think a year and a half of that, I didn't know that I was going to need 2 more surgeries because I just thought I had to keep doing rehab, but they weren't giving me the right answers and stuff. So that was tough, like mentally. That was physically because my hand was always hurting, but like mentally, like from going from like winning against Thailand champions, Lumpini champions, being again talked about all the time to like, I think I was on a like 8-fight win streak against like Thailand champions and stuff like that at this point. Then my hand just kind of gave in, and then it's gone from that to like boom, nothing. No one talks about you anymore. So like mentally, like it's like fuck, I'm Barrett. Like why? I felt like victim mentality at the time. Like, why me? Like why did it have to be me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like, well, it was the worst time of my life. But now I feel like it's kind of a blessing, weirdly, because like, I feel like it made me think about other things like making money on the side, like doing the teaching, like because fighting's not going to be forever. It could be done tomorrow. So like it opened my mind to other things. Like I need to like think about my future a bit more. I need to also like look after my body properly. Like even like little things like diet. Like I'd done it, but I didn't really live the life properly outside of it. Sometimes like, I would be going out drinking before fights and not dieting that well for fights because I made weight so easy when I was young. It's like I don't have to, but like I'm not saying that was a factor on my hand, but all these little things could add up. And like maybe if I like done the lifestyle, probably did more S&C, like strengthen my body a bit better when I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have had the same issue. But now I take all of that stuff serious. So it's a bit of a blessing, I suppose, as well.
It's a lesson, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Plans for Liam Cunningham this year. So
did he put that in there?
No, that wasn't him. No, that weren't. He did like it. That was it. He didn't actually put a question in.
Plans for Liam. So he's out. His first fight will be on March 2nd. He's fighting. Oh shit! I actually completely forgot the guy's name now. He's fight. It's a hard fight, but on Diamond Fight Promotions in Banbury. He's fighting against a lad who's like a real strong puncher, and he just come off his first loss actually against Finley Smith from Bad Company, Liam. So there's a few things because he was whitewashing everyone. It was really hard to like pinpoint where he was going wrong or like his weaknesses because he was just blitzing everyone. So like it was actually really hard to take. It's like he looked perfect nearly every fight. Then he fought Finley and there was a few holes in his game. What kind of think Finley's just a really clever fighter. So it kind of I suppose it exposed a few holes in Liam's game where he needs to improve on. So now we're just trying to work on improving on stuff like that. And then he's also fighting on CFS in April after that. So he's going to have a busy year, I think. So I think the thing with him, he's inexperienced, but he's fighting people that are more experienced than him. So he just needs to rack up the fight. He needs to get more experience and come up against different opponents. So, but I still believe that he's going to be like one of the top lads in the world.
Yeah.
Definitely from the UK. So yeah, he's got a big year ahead. I think.
Puts to work in as well.
I want him to start fighting like ranked opponents probably next year. Once he gets the one out of the way in March, I want him to build up into the rankings. But yeah, he's a serious worker. Like he's always in the gym. Like even over Christmas, like if I told him that he'd train Christmas Day, he'd be in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's like addicted to training, which is like I don't have to tell him to do anything. Like he comes.
He's on it.
Yeah. He's like perfect for a trainer because I don't have to go, did you run today, or did you do your SC, or did you do this? Like he does it without me asking. Like, and I know it, so you can. I don't know if you've seen the shape of him.
Yeah, he's ripped up.
He's in crazy shape. So like, and that's his. He goes to me. He said to me the other day, I feel a bit fat after his fight. I was like, bruv, he's got like an 8-pack. Like, shut up. Like, looking like Action Man.
Yeah. Ken.
But he's got a big year, and like all of our guys, like you got Corey who fought Joe. Yeah. He's fighting in March as well, and he's fighting in CFS as well in April. I just want to roll them out because they're all like young, hungry. They want it. So, and to be honest, it keeps me on my toes because I spar with all of them as well, and they're getting better and better. So it's good for me as well in a selfish way.
As well.
Yeah, for them though, man. That's like world class sparring, just like straight.
We've got Tim Thomas. Like, you know what, Tim would be a good guy for you to get on here. Yeah, actually, you'd love. We'll
have to link it up.
Yeah. He's got some mad stories because he's had more fights than me, so he's world class. Like, you see him sparring, like I spar with him, and he's heavy handed though. Like, but he's very he's got good timing and stuff like that. So they've got loads of sick guys to spar with. Then they've got Pan who helps them out on the weekend as well. So like the team will just get better and better. But next year I've got big plans for them. I want them all to like kind of start getting into the rankings and making waves now.
It's wicked, man. That's good for the gym as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Was there anything else we've not touched on? Nothing.
No, for good, man.
Yeah.
Nothing from you that we've not touched on that you might have coming up or anything like that?
What do I have coming up? Just sign up to that YouTube, man.
Sign up to the YouTube.
Yeah,
I'll link it down below as well. I'll link all your stuff. But I do have one final question because we wasn't doing this when you were last on. Obviously, we done the You Most Euphoric Moment one, and we'll do that again, but that'll be in a few years.
Yeah.
Is how do you want to be remembered? So when it's all said and done for you, and you look back at your careers, you look back at your businesses, how does Daniel McGowan actually want to be remembered?
I think in a Muay Thai sense, I'd say I want to be known to like fight and beat the best of the best. Like, especially like say against Thais, I wanted to be able to beat them at their own game and do it with the style that Thais do. So that is how I kind of want to be remembered in a fighting sense. Also, just like provide giving the crowd a good fight, like as in, again, not even just swinging out, like technically, and like kind of being a role model to some of these younger fighters that maybe are coming through, that they can see that kind of style will work. Do you know what I mean? So being a role model, I like the feeling of that. Like when like young lads come up to me, or girls or whatever, like they'll come up to me and say like that I kind of inspired them or whatever. That just makes you feel good. Like, and then even in the gym when I'm with all these lads like your Liams and Corey's, but even some of the beginners that I've like got coming through, like knowing that I'm helping out, it's a really good feeling. So yeah, I just want to be remembered as that, like just nice guy. I just want to be remembered, nice guy, fucking can have it. That's about it, really.
Is that the same with in life as well?
Yeah, like I just want basically like even so like outside of Muay Thai, people see me out and they're like, you're actually a really nice guy. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be a dickhead. Like I show my skill in the ring and that's it. Like I don't need to be going out and fighting and showing like my ego off. Like I just want to be like, I want to have conversations like this, like, you know, like have good conversations with people, be nice to people, man. It's not hard. Do you know what I mean? And then just keep inspiring, I suppose. I think that's a big driving thing. Is like when we talk about like coming back to fight and stuff, it's like it's like that feeling of like inspiring others. And like even like my nephew, like I picked him up from school and he's like, the school teacher said, she was like, is this a champion uncle? I was like, it's mad. My nephew actually can go into school and say that. And he's showing all the kids his like on YouTube, this is my uncle. Like, you know, little things like that is a good feeling. So if I can be remembered for like doing something good, that would be good. Yeah. That's
brilliant, man. Yeah, man. Dan, thank you for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
Nice one, boys.
I'll link all your stuff down below. People, go and subscribe to the channel. Like, you got top quality content coming out. You got the podcast as well on there.
Yeah, I need to start doing more podcasts again. But yeah, we've got loads planned for next year. So yeah, be good. Might have to do roles reverse, man. Get you boys on mine.
Yeah, we'd love to, man. We'd love to do it.
Yeah.
Get some proper filming as well, Mackenzie in there actually.
In it with like 3 cameras.
Where do I look? Your camera's here. Your camera's here. Your camera's here. But yeah, I'll link all your stuff down below. People, go check it out. Go and watch the Untold series as well, man, because it is honestly brilliant. And that's been another episode of the Curiously Gin. And peace, people.